Hello, 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 my intergalactic beings, my star seeds, my daydreamers, my manifestors. I want to see if the mic was on. So in today's video, I'm going to be talking about grounding while you're on your spiritual path, your spiritual journey. Ever since, let me do this real quick. So I saw this brother on, the Instagram, and he was talking about why it's so important to remain grounded and remain here on earth, because you can go through what I explained in a couple of my videos. You can go through what is called a spiritual psychosis, and I have definitely dealt with it, and I am still dealing with it. So yes, despite me being an incarnated being, It's just a being. She was just a woman, just like women you see down here, just would carry an instrument and had the face of a cat. But the spirit is what I carry. I carry the spirit, not necessarily my physical form, but my spirit. So, yeah. What was I saying? But yeah, why it's so important to remain kind of grounded. And he was just talking about, like, it's not really good to delve so deep into spirituality, because you can cause yourself, like I have, like moments of tripping out, especially if you're like smoking weed. Weed tends to do that to you. Weed tends to alter your state, alter your mind a little bit. That's what weed tends to do. So yeah, but I'm going to talk about, I written some notes down here. I'm going to talk about grounding. I'm going to talk about why it's so important to ground yourself, even as a starseed, because, sorry, nothing bad happened, because you could cause, like, moments of tripping out and moments of, like, you not really knowing, you not really like being, you're aware, but you're not in yourself. You're not grounded. You can create moments of feeling like, you're just insane, especially, like, I know I said me being a starseed and me being a being within a body, I tend to have moments like these as well. It's kind of sad, but it's not as sad. It's not as bad as you would think. But spiritual psychosis is very, very real. And I want to talk about, why it's important to ground. So I'm going to read a little bit of my notes for you guys. And, yeah, we should continue on with the video. Okay. So I put grounding. Why it's so important to stay grounded within your spiritual journey, and so on. Yeah, and so on. I would like to say, but sometimes it's important not to always want to feel like you're trying to escape life, because trying to feel like you're trying to escape life, because life itself is a gift. And I think we should all appreciate it, right? Because the only thing that you would ever try, I'm sorry, excuse me, I'm trying to read my handwriting, because I write fast. Like, my thoughts, what was I going to say? My thoughts, they come faster than my words when I'm writing. So when I'm writing stuff down, I tend to think that I'm writing like pretty like fast. Anyways, escape life, because life itself is a gift, and I think we all should appreciate it, right? Because the only thing that you would ever do is try to escape with spiritual knowledge about life and so on. And why it's so important to fall sometimes as well, just to get back to yourself, back on back on track with yourselves, back on track with your getting to your higher self. What if I told you that right now you are your higher self. You're with your higher self, and that it's not necessarily a destination to get to, but we fall because we try to understand that that's the whole purpose of the journey, right? Is to go through certain things, like almost like you're a character in a video game, right? Like, how characters in video games have to go through levels before they finally get to the big thing, but then they have to fight like this big boss at the end, right? Almost at the end of the video game, right? So it's the same thing with like spirituality. You have to remain kind of like grounded to yourself as well too. So and also, I wanted to say that I wrote like escape life because for me, on an honest note, I use spirituality as a stepping stone to like upgrade myself a little bit more. And we're all doing it because we're all spirits, and we're coming back to that place that we came from, right? That place of knowing oneself. But in order for God to know itself, it has to, in order for God to know itself, it has to experience, whether if it's positive or negative, God has to experience itself. That's why God created me. That's why God created you, and when I say God, I mean the Most High, right? Source, right? But that's what I'm talking about. Like, what if we're already in New Earth? What if we're already like, what if, we're already like, I might make a part 2. I know I kind of like slice my videos a lot because I have, again, information that comes through me. So I'm trying to like work with it here, balance it out a little bit. But yeah, like, I totally forgot what I was saying. My bad. You trying to like, like, what if you're already like in the 5th dimension? What if you're already like here? What if you're already your higher self? What if you're living your dream life? What if you're already there, and that it's not necessarily a destination, but it's important for it to be a destination because God has to go through things in order to come back to itself, right? In order for God to come back to itself so it can learn about itself through us, through our experience. Spirit learns through us, through our own experiences. So, yeah. But I just wanted to kind of like put that out there to make sure that it's okay to like just be yourself sometimes. You don't always have to be spiritual and like know everything and like be everything and, like, oh, it's because you're everything. We're one, we're everywhere. And which is true. But, you kind of want to just stay like, come back to yourself. Like how we were when we were kids, like we played around. We would go to school. After school, you want to go hang out with your friends, go play with your friends. Like before I got into this, I had friends. I still do have friends. Like I still talk to people, but I had like a group. Like I had a group. I was a groupie, except for my group where it wasn't the popular girls, wasn't the popular kids. Anyways, but I had a group. Like I had friends. They were the anime. They're like the anime. My friends were like, my tribe was like an anime. Like they're like the anime kind of group. They're like into anime and into like superheroes and comics and video games and stuff like that. Those are my kind of friends that I created. I mean, my bad, that I had in my past. But yeah, what I was saying, like, it's okay to like play with your inner child and kind of just like, come back to yourself, like, because you don't always, I'm telling myself this too. I'm not just preaching it. I'm explaining it to myself as well too, as I'm making these videos for you guys. But you don't have to necessarily like come back to, you don't have to know everything or be everything or like do everything, like be highly, highly aware, right? If you understand where I'm coming from, be highly, highly like aware, right? It's okay to just go turn on some music or, play some music or something, or turn on a movie, watch a movie, chill out, Netflix and chill or whatever, like chill out and just like, just be, because that's what he was talking about in his video. He was talking about sometimes the most spiritual thing you can do is to just be yourself. That's the only spiritual thing. That's the most spiritual thing that you can do. Like, I know for me in my journey, I've definitely, went like, I was lollygagging a lot. I was doing a whole lot of lollygagging, be like, what's this? Well, what's this? And me wanting to learn, and how do I do this? And what's this? But the only best way to learn anything is through yourself, and it's through experience. So it's through experience. That's why I said in my last video that I made about spiritual psychosis is learning to, what's I get ready to say? I totally forgot that too. My bad. Okay. Learning to just kind of just being with yourself, right? The most spiritual thing you can do is to just be, not wanting to know everything and be aware of anything. Because sometimes sometimes spirit tells you like, that's not for you. Just because it seems and it sounds like, and it's this and that, God will tell me like, that's not for you. Don't mess around with that. That's what God tells me. God tells me, the Most High. That's what God tells me, don't mess with that. Don't mess with it. Right? But our minds like to jump into it anyways, such as myself. But yeah, like I flip flop around a lot in my spirit, in the spirit realm. I do. I flip flop around a lot. But yeah, I just wanted to make this video because I just wanted to say to you guys that why, within the spiritual path, it's so important to stay grounded and to always have something to believe in, even if you are religion, and there's truth in everything. There's truth in the Bible, there's truth in the Quran, there's truth in certain spiritual books and stuff that you read. What if it's for manifesting, and you want to talk about the law of attraction or use the law of assumption, stuff like that. So it's just important, right? Like to stay grounded and remain true to yourself, and remain true to your path as well too. And I'm also talking to myself too as I'm talking to you guys. So yeah, I just want to like make this video real quick for you guys and see, where we're at. But I make these videos, and it's really fun doing it too. I make these videos so that I could just, again, help be a part of the collective awakening, because it's beautiful and we are ascending as we speak. Like, I can feel everything shifting. I can feel everything changing. I can feel the energy. It's like something that's coming up, it's like something that's like waking up, right? Like something like you waking up from a deep sleep, right? A deep dream. That's kind of what it's like. But excuse me. I hope I got everything that I said I would say in this video, but I'm going to make a part 2 for this video. And I'm going to talk about, again, I'm going to continue to talk about more about why it's so important to remain grounded and to try to keep yourself stable as much as you can and not go into spiritual psychosis, because spiritual psychosis is very real and it can fuck with you. if you don't know, again, if you're not highly as aware and or highly as grounded as you should be, it can mess with you. It can mess with your mind. And I think those are Spirit's lessons. When Spirit tells you, hey, that's not for you, right? That's what my Spirit tells me. My Spirit tells me, like, hey, that's not for you. Don't dwell into that. Don't dwell on that, right? So, but yeah, I'm going to just stop here. I love you guys so much. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a very, very blessed day. Bye.